maybe I should be listening to what they have to say. You know, this is a time in the world where almost everybody in the United States understands the benefits of a plant-based diet. Now, they don't all want to get on board. They all don't want to make a change. They say, well, you know, what I'm doing is all right. But when you're talking about what's happening in China, we're talking about something that is happening not because of the problem with the individual, but the problem of the system. And the system is putting animals in situations that they were never designed to deal with. And when we end up with a virus going on, it spreads like wildfire. It's like gasoline and a match. You may not have ever pumped any oil. You may not have ever lit a match. But this conflagration that's going on is going to touch us all because what we're doing is wrong. It's wrong for the planet, it's wrong for the animals, and it's wrong for humans.
Now, you know all about this kind of animal confinement and treating animals a certain way, to which you just alluded, because you're a fourth generation farmer and you are actually a cattle farmer. You took a very small farm and made it into a huge ranch with 7,000 cattle. You actually loved it. You called yourself, I heard you in a talk say, I was Mr. Agribusiness. So tell us about the Howard Lyman back then. Like, who were you? What were you doing?
Well, I was raised on a small family farm in Montana, and I went to Montana State University, got a degree in agriculture, and never one time when I was in school did they ever talk to us about the environment. We didn't talk about what the problems were. It was all about how much to produce, how much more to produce, how much more money to make, how to get bigger or get out. Now, I bought that hook, line, and sinker, and I thought, I might as well become the agribusinessman of the year and see what I can go out and do. And the more animals I got and the more money I made, I thought, wow, I'm on top of the world. And, it wasn't until I was paralyzed from the waist down and I ended up with a tumor on my spinal cord, and the doctor told me, he said, you have less than one chance in a million you'll ever walk again. That was the first time I ever started questioning what I was doing and what it was doing to the planet.
So you developed this tumor on your spine, which you thought happened because of all the chemicals that you sprayed on your farm. I've heard you say you use herbicides, pesticides, hormones, and medications. How did this realization change the way you farmed? I mean, it changed your diet, right? Because you went to organic at that period of time, if I remember right.
Well, no, it didn't. The first thing it did is it changed my approach to the environment.
Okay.
The light never came on about the diet until, much later. It was the fact that my brother died of Hodgkin's disease, which came from the chemicals we were using on the farm. And it wasn't until some time later that the light finally came on and I understood that it's not just the environment. I was killing myself. I was killing myself with my fork.
What prompted you to so you got out of the hospital, getting a second chance at life. Did you change the herbicide and pesticide practices at your farm?
Well, I went to my banker and I said to him, gee, I want to make a change on my farm. I want to start growing everything organically. No herbicides, no pesticides. He looked at me like I came from Mars. He said, you want me to lend you money and you're not going to spend it with my other customers, the chemical dealers, the pharmaceutical dealers? He said, there will never be a day like that. And so then I was faced with the realization. I either had to continue to do what I was doing, which I thought was wrong, or make a change. Can you imagine what it was like? Have a wife and 5 children and looking at making a change totally different, doing something different than what I'd been trained in the university to do. It was the biggest decision I ever had to make in my life. And I'll have to tell you right now, there were lots of nights I didn't sleep because I didn't know what to do. But I thought, it's not only I'm killing myself, I'm killing the planet. Every person that's out there that is eating what I'm growing, the way that I'm producing it, I have to take some of the responsibility for their health. Mm-hmm. And it was a tough decision. You can't imagine how tough.
Yeah.
But I changed. And my kids looked at me like I'd come from Mars.
So just to clarify, when you changed, were you just thinking about the herbicide, pesticide, chemical thing, or were you thinking about meat is also killing us? What kind of decision did you make?
Well, when I made the decision, I understood what it had to do with my diet. And so it was not only the health of the planet or the health of the other people, it was the health of myself, my family. Can you imagine the meals we were putting on the table of our house? We knew, my wife and I knew, that it was not the healthiest for our children. Is any amount of money worth that? So we changed. And I'll tell you, if you want to know what an outcast is, be in Montana.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info. And you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.